Welcome to the Wrecked by Fiction podcast.
That's not a comfort read.
Yes, it is. Did I read it on my lunch break? Yeah.
So I made notes because I didn't know if there was going to be a quiz.
Hey, everything is for a grade. While I was watching a movie with my 6-year-old, yeah. I didn't know I could be both right and so fucking wrong. Wrecked by Fiction, where we read, cry, and question our emotional stability. Hey.
Hi.
How goes it?
It goes.
It does, whether you like it or not, I suppose.
Yup.
Oh, man.
How you been?
Trucking along.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same.
Not to quote Grey's Anatomy or anything, but the carousel never stops turning. So
fucking true.
just got to keep moving along.
Yep.
But happy Mother's Day.
Thanks. Same to you.
Thank you. It's been a day. It's crazy.
Yes. It's been all right.
Oh my God.
We're making it.
One of the things we talk about on here a lot is like comfort reads.
Yeah.
And our different version of those things. Mm-hmm. And the last time we sat down and talked, I said that I was probably going to reread something because I was in like a slump and I needed to read something that I knew was going to be good and not like hope that something was going to be good.
And then you turned around and read an Omega verse.
2, actually. I did reread the queen herself, Dr. Emily Rath, though. I did reread Pucking Around. I have read that series in its entirety 3 times in the last 2 years.
Can I just say I love that you rolled your eyes at yourself?
Yeah. 3 times in the last 2 years. So I actually convinced... Excuse you. You just made my microphone hit me in the face.
You really got to level this table. I was just.
It's because 3 legs are on the back and then one leg.
One is on the wood.
Yeah.
Okay.
But so I had been staying away from the Jacksonville Rays series by Emily Rath because we're all familiar now. I don't love the hype of certain series.
Yes.
I try is the
operative word.
Yeah, operative word there. Because when, especially like BookTok gets a hold of something that is at least hopefully genuinely good, they can like run with it really hard and then it doesn't live up to
the hype.
All of the recommendations that you've seen, right?
Yep.
Well, so I knew how spicy that series was. But I thought that I wasn't going to like it because of all of the hype.
Yeah.
And it was not my first Emily Rath read. Actually, that might be a lie. I will have to double check that. But I read it because I was like, oh, it's 700 pages of hockey smut.
Yeah. Who doesn't want that?
I do. Straight to the dome. But I had been avoiding it. And there was, I don't even remember, 2 years ago, I picked it up the first time. And I was like, oh, lower your expectations going in, try to keep myself from getting too excited about it. Mm-hmm. But goddamn, I inhaled that book. And then the next one, and then the next one. And then when I first read it, I believe the first 3 books had been released. And then she traditionally publishes that series. Mm-hmm. I'd have to double check. I believe it's Berkeley, but that could also be a lie. So she traditionally publishes that series. However, she independently publishes like mini stories that fall. They're like scenes or side quests, essentially,
Okay.
from each book that builds on what you just read.
Gotcha.
So pucking around, and then there was a volume 1 of these like 5 or 6 side stories, and then traditionally published, and then, which I believe was Pucking Sweet, I think came next, and then another volume 2 of her little side stories. So she keeps saying volume 3 of the side stories is coming whenever. It still hasn't come out. There are now
Rude.
Yeah. There are now we're waiting on number 5 in the traditionally published series. And we still haven't gotten the extras from the other books.
What a tease.
But oh my God. I read it all in one go, everything that was released, I read it. And then last summer I reread the whole series because I convinced my high school friends book club to read the first book. And then I couldn't stop. So we read the first book as the book club choice.
Right.
And then I just read the rest of them again. And then last November, again, dates are hard. The most recent release came out. And I've talked about that release before on the pod because it was when the audiobook came out, there was a really weird accent. Do you remember me bringing up? Yeah. So I read that, and then this time I was like, I'm just going to read the first book because I have other things that I literally have to read.
Lies.
So I read the first book, and there's just something, that group of people, those characters are probably some of my favorite characters ever written. And I don't know how to move on from them. I don't think I ever will. I don't have any of those books, like physical copies. And that will be, something that I want them so bad.
Hang on while I make a note on how to surprise Emma finally with a book.
I want them so bad. They're on my they're on my Amazon wish list because I desperately want them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I reread Dr. Emily Rath because she just is so good. And I realized that there really is like a very specific handful of things that I will reread as like my comfort. I can read a book that I think is so incredible, I'll never come back to it.
Yeah.
So I don't really know what the like categories are that make me come back to read a book again.
I don't read fast enough to go read a book again. I can't keep up with just reading enough to go back and read a book I've already read.
Have you ever reread a book?
I have reread parts of books that I have started and couldn't remember that I started them and then finished them finally. But no, I don't think that I've ever gone back and read a book that I have already read. That's not comfort to me. To me, it's going and reading something that's just lighthearted and silly and goofy or whatever.
Yeah.
So it doesn't necessarily need to be something that I have already read.
Yeah, no. Well, that's like why I am always surprised when I see people like going through their bookshelves and like donating. They're like, oh, I'm done with this. And I'm like, done with it?
What do you mean?
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
No, because I even rearranged my shelf the other day to add some things onto it. And one of my kids was like, have you read all of these? And I'm like 90% of them. And they're like, why do you keep them? I'm like, because I'm not a library. I'm not returning them when I'm done with them. Like, I want them. That's why I own them.
Right.
So
I take that back. I may have reread Eat, Pray, Love now that I think about it.
I know what that is, but I have never read it, obviously.
No?
No.
It's actually really good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Wasn't Julia Roberts the movie?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I thought.
And the that is
on
one
topic.
we can talk about.
On topic.
Yeah. That movie actually was really good and followed the book well. So, yeah.
I always think that the like creative liberties they take when they turn things into movies can either be done beautifully or it just like
Horribly.
is unnecessary.
Right. Yeah.
Well, like, and one of the things that people talk about all the time is when they take a book series and turn one book, you know, into a movie.
Right.
And that's not happening as often now. There a lot of TV shows are happening out of book series, but I mean, the best example of that is like Harry Potter, where when you take, let's just say, the Philosopher's Stone and you get one book and one movie, but there are so many things that are missing.
Yes.
That I'm like, all of these little side stories and character development that you don't get to have. And that's so frustrating to me.
Right.
Because, so like, Corey read the entire Harry Potter series last year for the first time.
Oh gosh, okay.
And I remember him saying, like, asking me questions about why certain things weren't included.
The movies?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I couldn't tell you, but it is very frustrating.
Yeah. My thing with Harry Potter in specific is there was a lot of like the magical elements or how certain spells worked that weren't included. And I was like, oh, they probably couldn't CGI that. Where now maybe technologically wise they could have, but back then they couldn't figure out how to make it
versus
work.
20 years ago almost. Yeah. I could see that. There was one storyline in the books that I loved that was not included in the movies, which is the Nearly Headless Nick storyline.
Yeah.
Where it goes through his entire, like,
why he is Nearly Headless Nick. Yeah.
And his death day party and like all of that.
Yeah.
And I hated that they didn't include, which is such like a small, it's so minuscule, like in the grand scheme of Harry Potter, but
still.
Yeah. He was included in the movies. So why not include his story? I thought that was.
I do think that there is so much in Harry Potter that there's no way that they could have included. Yeah. They really had to.
Do you think that the new TV series, well, number one, will you watch it?
I don't know.
And number two, do you think they will include more? Do you think that they'll do a better job at including more of like the book elements?
Right. I don't know. I am torn on it because, I mean, we've talked about JK already, but just because of the controversy around her, I want to, mostly because I want to see if it's something that my daughter would enjoy because she's also into Harry Potter. And I'm not going to lie, I'm a little tired of some of the shows that we've been watching on repeat. So it would be nice to toss something else in there. But I don't know yet. I haven't. I'm very torn on it. I don't know. Because there's the curiosity part of me of like, is it good?
Yeah.
But then there's the part of me that's like, I don't know that I can support it. So yeah, I don't know. Are you guys going to watch it?
I don't know. We haven't. I did not watch the teaser. The only pieces of the teaser that I have seen have been like on TikTok.
Right. Same.
Where other people have posted, but I have not gone to HBO and watched the actual teaser.
Either.
So I don't know. There is a pretty solid chance we'll watch it, but I want to say that like I am like conscious of what that means.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think that there are so many books that are being made into TV adaptations right now that maybe I just let it go and I live in my past Harry Potter, experiences and not bring this next generation of Harry Potter into my life.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that there's so many. This is a conversation we have around my house all the time. Stop remaking things that already exist.
Amen.
Give me something new.
Agreed.
I don't need another Harry Potter.
No.
I had Harry Potter.
Yeah.
I don't need, and we don't watch them anyway, but this is the first thing that comes to mind, another Fast and the Furious movie.
Right.
I don't need
another Lion King.
Yeah.
Another, That's my thing, is like all of the movies that were already made, and they're not doing like the next like it's not Lion King 2, it's we're remaking The Lion King, which has already been done. Like, why are we redoing a movie that's already been? Can we not come up with other stories to tell? Because or even the future of it, can we go past it? And
I think we discussed this when we first talked about, it might even been the first episode. You talked about the Where the Crawdads Sing, and I asked if it had been a movie before,
and I can't remember.
And because I think it might have been, but that's happening all the time, and it's not just like the cartoons are being redone or they're being made into real people movies or whatever.
Right.
But we're seeing so many movies that are being redone now. And I'm like, why? The one from the 60s is perfectly good.
Right. It was not. It was not. A 2018 best-selling novel, and the film came out in 2022.
Okay. So it was the first.
Yes. But I don't know why I did think that there was I don't know, previous version.
Interesting. Well, I think that and like, so like around the holidays and stuff, we watch a lot of Christmas movies that we watch that are like the replay every year ones, is like White Christmas and like movies, old movies. And I have no desire. If they remade White Christmas, I might cry.
Yeah, I wouldn't watch it.
Like, what? You know what I mean? Why are we redoing things that already exist?
Right. Maybe a remastered.
Sure.
But not...
Add, like, you know, make sure the color grading is up to date and all of that stuff. But I just think, well, and that we're not talking about this specifically, but like, one of the things, White Christmas is so controversial because of how small that actress was and how petite she was. And it was something that she lived with and she struggled with her entire life. People making fun. And like, as an actress, there was so much heat on her because of her size.
Right.
And I just know that it wouldn't be the same if they were to redo that specific movie. It would never, I don't think it wouldn't live up to what it has become now. And it's like, you know, God forbid they remade Rocky Horror.
Yeah. No.
Which they kind of have done in bits and pieces, you know? They're like...
Children of the Corn.
Right. There are so many things. And I don't need another Friday the 13th movie.
No.
I don't need another Freddy Krueger. No. I don't need another, you know, Scream, for the love of God. I love Scream. I rewatch like the first 3 Screams every Halloween.
Yeah.
It is probably one of my favorite, like, scary, because it's not scary movies.
Right.
But I don't need that.
Scary movies just make me laugh.
Well, that's because you're dead inside. I have a hat that says that. It says dead inside.
Maybe I need one.
I got it at Spirit Halloween, I think. A couple years ago. But like, yeah, the constant, like, just let it die.
Yeah.
Let it die.
Yeah. It's okay to end something and come up with something new.
Right. Season 57 of Grey's Anatomy coming to you 2027.
Right. Also says the person who has read a series of books that's over 30 books long.
Right.
So, you know.
Which you specifically have said when I have asked, why are you still reading that? And you're like, because I have to keep going.
Because I'm invested in these characters.
What if something happens now and I miss it?
Right. Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, so Outlander is one of those things that have been made into a TV show versus a movie.
Yeah.
And while I am grateful that it is a TV show and not movies, the further into the TV series they have gotten, the more liberties they have taken.
Oh, see, that's frustrating.
And so it is further and further away from the actual series. However, Miss Diana, she kind of like writes books like giant puzzles.
Okay.
So in the middle of writing Outlander, she was also writing a side characters series.
Okay.
Which is Lord John. And again, you don't know any of this, but
that's
like,
okay.
So she was also writing John's books. And so in the TV series, they have interwoven like timelines of the way that like the books come out, and then they like insert information from one of John's books into, whereas in the original series of Outlander books, those characters don't have that information because it's from John's book. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And this is a hill I will die on. One of the, they used their artistic license, and they didn't kill a character when he should have died in the books. So in the books, he died.
Right.
And in the show, he didn't.
Why?
They kept him alive. And I will die on this hill that it was the wrong thing to do.
Yeah. That doesn't make sense.
His death in the books like wrecked me. So your main characters in Outlander, you have Jamie Fraser, you have Claire Beecham Fraser, and then you have like you have Captain Jack Randall, and then Jamie's right-hand man, his name is Murtaugh.
Okay.
And so your antagonist is Captain Jack Randall, right? And you go through the whole first season in the show, and they leave Scotland and to get away from everything that has happened to them. All of the awful shit that I have told you that they did in the... Nope.
We could have a whole episode on Outlander, and I've never even seen it.
Nope. Nobody needs 4 episodes
Yeah.
of rape.
No.
You don't need it.
No.
You don't. And it's not like, that's not an artistic license. It is taken from the book. She did write it that way. However, the continuation of bringing it back up and how long they drug it out in the show is wholly unnecessary.
See, that's wild to me.
And in the books, I'd have to double check, but I believe it is book 3. Murtaugh dies. He is Jamie finds him dead on the battlefield at the Battle of Culloden, and he gets to say goodbye. Like, he's like in his last breath, they are experiencing this together.
Yeah.
Jamie is alive. Murtaugh is obviously about to cash out, and he that's where he dies. And in the show, he leaves. He goes to Paris with them. They all come back. So the Battle of Culloden chronologically is after they come back from Paris. And so they do all of this. They come back. They go to the battle. Murtaugh survives in the show. They travel and everything happens. Everything goes on. He is still alive. He ends up having a relationship with Jamie's aunt, like in the show. Like, they've created a life for him that didn't exist.
What on earth?
And he does end up dying. Like, they do kill him off.
But like many episodes later?
Oh, seasons later. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I do not, yes, it was sad. The way he died, sure.
All right. We need the writers and the producers for the show to give us a call.
I need answers. Why did
Emma's questions answered?
Why did they do that? I don't get it.
That's so weird.
Why create a life for a character that didn't exist when the author wrote it?
Right. I'm curious how authors feel about stuff like that too.
I think that's a good question, because you know that they're a part of, the producing piece. They're credited as obviously the authors of the books, but also as producers for these shows. I would be interested to hear what they think when they change things.
Yeah. Or how involved are they with those changes, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Is that something that they were like, oh man, I almost wrote the book this way. So what if we do the show,
Okay.
kind
Yeah.
of thing. But
Yeah, I could see that because that bothered me forever. Like, obviously it still bothers me. And I read those books a long time ago.
Yeah.
And obviously the show is now 8 seasons in. Like, it's been going. But yeah, I do think that there is something to say about, number one, the difference between creating a movie versus creating a TV show.
Yeah.
And then also the changes that they make. How do they choose what to change?
Yeah.
And romance movies the book world is being created now into movies and TV shows at like a super rapid race. Every author you know of who's blowing up right now is also announcing a movie or a TV show.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, my whatever was picked up and is going to be an HBO or an Amazon or whatever it is.
I think it's because there's so many different platforms. You don't have just cable and movie channels, right?
Yeah.
We have all the different streaming platforms, and most of them have their own movie productions and all of that now. So,
well, and it's like we get teasers constantly of people saying, "Oh, Sarah J. Maas is getting a movie deal."
Yeah,
that's not none of that's confirmed.
Right.
The romance reading community has just exploded.
Yeah.
With, different forms of content and ways to consume those.
Are there any books that you wish were a movie or a series?
I kind of firmly live in the camp that I don't need things to be turned into. I don't.
Not even an Omegaverse?
God, what the fuck would that look like? Okay, so let's talk about that.
Maybe there is a book that you need.
No, you're the one who wants an anatomical drawing of how all of those things fit together.
Know how it works.
I can draw you a picture.
Okay.
And no, because I just read 2.
Yeah.
I read one that was the MPreg, which was
you told me.
Is the first MPreg I had ever read.
You'll have to tell me which one it was.
Oh my God. It's called Broken Alpha.
Okay.
And I couldn't tell you the title. I'd have to get my Kindle, but it was solid.
Yeah.
It was an accidental pregnancy, which I love.
Of course.
But at the same time, accidental pregnancy meets Alpha goes into, you're not going to understand any of these words. I'm going to say it anyway. Alpha goes into rut during the Omega's heat and forces a bond like non-consensually.
That's a lot.
Yeah, a lot of words that maybe you don't understand. But
I put it together. I get it.
He bites the back of the Omega's neck while in rut, and in heat, and Omega basically is mindless and has no idea what's going on. Right? And so there was no way for consent to take place. And then the Omega takes place or wakes up from heat and realizes, number one, I'm pregnant because their scent changes, whatever.
Right.
And then number 2, there's a bite on my body that wasn't there before heat started. And so in this version of the Omegaverse, a bite has to be returned for it to form the official bond.
Gotcha.
So an Omega can reject it by not biting back the Alpha.
Okay.
Which I have in other Omegaverse stories, that's not the case. Forced bonds happen all the time.
Yeah.
And so that was very interesting. He did get pregnant and he did keep it and he did have a baby, and there's no explanation of, they call it a womb.
Okay.
They like,
they don't give an anatomical,
Of course not. They have an entrance.
Okay.
But there's only one. There's no, like, additional entrance. So, like, the way they're having sex is also the way to their womb.
Okay.
So I have questions about how we go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Is there what's like
a chicken?
Like
because they only have one.
Good question. So yes. So it was called a womb, but it is the same entrance that is used when having sex on a male. And so maybe we only have one. Maybe we have a flap that opens and closes and like changes direction like trains. Or
this is why we need the anatomical drawings to go with this.
So yeah,
helpful.
So I did read an MPreg. It was not as informative as I probably would have hoped. I do have questions.
We have lots of research.
Maybe I need to read more of them. But it was good.
Bummer.
But then on the same avenue as I read another Omegaverse, that was just released, and I had read every other book in the series, so I was like, I don't have anything else to read, so I'm going to read.
Well.
It was good. Ooh, I don't know what happened to my voice there for a second. It was good. It was really good. That series is like it's like Omegaverse, but it's also slightly like mystery vibe.
Okay.
Where they're like solving a problem every book. And but the reason I bring it up is your anatomical questioning. There, for the first time ever, I have read my fair share of Omegaverse.
Yeah.
There was an alpha with a double knot.
Okay.
So basically, regular knot, right? And that's at the base. It was above the first one.
Okay.
And so the first one would swell.
Okay.
And then the second one would swell.
Okay.
After they're all locked in place, the second one starts to swell. And the alpha in question called it a snap orgasm or something. And there were lots of questions in the books that she was like, what are you talking about? What does that mean? Did you just made that up?
Right.
Because she was like, why are you so big? That's an actual quote. And he says, oh, you didn't notice when you were looking at me? And she was like, I was a little distracted, I think.
Right.
No, I didn't notice the second knot. And basically when the second one inflates, it creates like a like multiple firing orgasm over and over and over again.
Okay.
Or so says this book.
Okay.
Very interesting.
That is interesting.
And it was even more interesting when they had group sex and there was another male locked in to one of her spots, and then the double knot was locked into the other spot, and then creates the snap climaxes, and then the other guy is like, what the fuck is happening right now? And he's so confused.
This is why they couldn't put those on TV.
Yes. They could not. No, it would just be porn.
Yep, pretty much.
That's why you have in your, do you ever get fed those, we gotta end this episode. Jesus Christ. Do you ever get fed those shorts on like Facebook or not, you don't use Facebook, or TikTok or Instagram where it's the stories? It's like soap operas, but they're like little shorts.
No. We have such different algorithms. I don't understand.
They come across as like ads. So they're basically like they're algorithm based ads, but if you click on them, they'll take you to an alternate website or something.
Gotcha.
But it will play through, and it's like the cheesiest fucking actors.
Okay.
Acting out these built stories of that are essentially like romance books. But yeah. So that's why they can't put them into movies.
There's no
Omegaverse movies.
Dang.
Because it's just group sex. You can't make a regular PG-13 movie with group sex. I don't know. Wasn't there full frontal or side nudity in like Sex and the City movie? Did you ever see that movie?
I don't remember.
I'm pretty sure there was a penis in that.
There's lots of shows and stuff that, well, granted, I guess most of those are on streaming services, so not really like...
Yeah, it's not cable, but Sex and the City was...
Sex and the City
cable.
Was on cable. Yeah.
And you got lots of nudity. And the L Word is cable. Well, I don't know if the L Word is cable anymore, but it was.
Yeah.
before it was originally pulled from the...
Yeah.
And there's so much nudity on that show.
Right.
So, like, it's not like nudity doesn't exist, but I think, like, actual penetrative sex, you can't, like, film the action.
Right.
You can film the idea.
Yeah. The alluding to.
Right.
Yeah.
Of the action, but... Well, this conversation took a turn.
So.
Well, that has been fun.
Any other books that you would like to see made into a movie show?
No, I do. I firmly sit in the camp where I don't need my books to be made into shows.
Yeah.
I'm good with it. I like to read. I actually prefer to read over watch TV.
I get that.
I don't watch TV.
I don't typically watch either. It's just on as background noise.
Listening.
Yeah.
Yeah. I could see if there was one series, I'll be honest, if ACOTAR was made into a TV series, I would watch it. Or a movie. I would watch it.
Enjoy it better that way.
You might. That's true.
Because then I'm not having to work so hard to...
Yeah. But I don't really know if there's anything else that I would actually like prefer for it to be moved over. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because for the most part, the stuff I read, I'm good with it the way it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I think for me, there's nothing in particular that I can think of. There's just sometimes where I kind of wish there was more because of how I read books and my brain is visualizing all of it. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it would be nice to have a visualization to put with it so that my brain's not having to work so hard to make it, right? Mm-hmm. But if I could shut that off and not have to constantly be making a movie in my head when I read, that would probably be nice too. But
I'm trying to, like, if I look at my shelf, there's literally nothing over there that I would rather see on.
Not even like Elsie Silver or any of that?
I mean, if it was made, would I watch it? Yeah, but I would watch it because I've already read it.
Yeah. I get that.
I don't watch TV.
Yeah.
So I don't watch movies. I don't like, if I'm watching a movie, it's not a movie, it's a documentary.
Yeah. Same.
Yeah. So I'm literally like, if you catch me watching something on my phone or at night, it's Outlander is playing over again, or I'm still stuck in the cottage of Heated Rivalry.
Yeah. It's Gilmore Girls, Bluey, or How It's Made at Our House. So
and see, my kids don't really watch. We actually have banned TV shows. Mm-hmm. If you're going to watch something, you're going to watch a movie.
Yeah.
Because their attention spans can't handle the TV.
That makes sense.
And then they get bored because of the movie, and so then they go actually do something.
Right.
They walk away from it. So
I had to cut off YouTube.
I also read and watch movies at the same time. Mm-hmm. I will sit in the corner of my couch and put a show on, and then also read at the same time.
Yeah, I can't do that. I don't know how you read when there's people talking around you either, though. I can't do that.
I do it every day.
Yeah.
So
you're so vastly different in that. It's
that's
wild.
the fun part.
No, it is for sure. It's just, it intrigues me. So, yeah.
Well, this has been blind chaos.
Can't wait for the description on this one.
Oh my fuck. Well, okay. Well, we'll see you next time.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're Wrecked by Fiction.
See ya.
Bye.